Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Theravada Buddhism Series, Dhamma Talk 97. Birth condition. Magga Paccayo. This is how it's translated in the book. Path factors are related to the mental states associated with the path and the materials produced by path condition. So here's what path in Pali, Magga. There are two paths. One is a good or wholesome path, and the other one is evil or unwholesome paths. So, two divisions when we say path. They consist of 71 rooted consciousness. There are altogether 89 consciousness. 18 of them has no roots. So the remaining 71 are called rooted consciousness. This path consists of 71 rooted consciousness, 52 mental factors, cetasika, and material produced by the rooted consciousness. Not every material, but material produced by the rooted consciousness. Yes. Rooted consciousness in Pali is, for those who are familiar, it's called Sahetuka Chigdija. Produced by rooted consciousness. And Kama, producing material. Two types. One material produced by rooted consciousness. Another type of material is produced by Kama. So that is the explanation of what is path or Magga, and what do they consist of, and what type of materials are included in it. The path taught by Buddha consists of 8 divisions. This path has 8 divisions or 8 factors. They are correct or right, correct knowing, thought, speech, deed, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration. In front of those words, there's always correct or right. In Pali, it's called samma. Correct knowing means samadhi. So you know what that is. The Eightfold Noble Path. And this Eightfold Noble Path leads to favorable existence. If one go on the path, one can arrive at the destinations of humans, or 6 Deva realms, or even 20 Brahma realms, and eventually Nibbana, the end of all suffering, realization of Nibbana. This path eliminates evil or unwholesome, develops good or wholesome karma, and stops developing harmful materials. Not only the mind, also the material. In our body, materials are always arising and passing away. If one is practicing these Eightfold Path, the materials, the new materials arising are good quality, and harmful materials stop developing. I stress that because nowadays people are more interested in how healthy the body is. Evil or unwholesome paths has 4 divisions. And evil path associates with the wrong view or wrong thought, false speech, harmful deeds, and livelihoods. Those are the 4. In wholesome path, 8 divisions. Unwholesome path, 4 divisions. I'll repeat the 4 again. Wrong view, false speech, harmful deeds, and harmful and hurtful livelihood. And these leads to unfavorable existence, such as hell, rum, animals, rum, hungry ghosts, rum, and demonic realms. It causes good mental states change into negative. One might have good mental state, but when these come in, it changes into bad one. And good and healthy materials to unhealthy mind-produced and karma-produced materials. We have the freedom to choose between the 2 paths, the wholesome path or unwholesome path, one with 8 divisions, one with 4 divisions. We have the freedom to choose. Okay, as we are talking about practicing to be wholesome, let's see what wholesome factors are and also unwholesome factors are. Samadhi, correct view, right view, means correctly knowing the physical and material phenomenon and their causal relationship. And these are constantly disappearing and also breeding suffering, producing suffering. And they are not self or soul. If you see that way, if you have that view, that's called Samadhi. So what is Miccāditthi? What's the wrong view? We should be aware Miccāditthi is a full word, but also you might hear just a word, Ditti, that also means Miccāditthi. Wrong view is identifying life with self or soul, believing that performing generosity, morality, concentration, and vipassana will not produce any good result. Or the other way around is wrong speech, wrong deed, and wrong livelihood will bring no harm to the doer in the following lives if one don't get caught in this life by law. That's a wrong view, Miccāditthi. Vipassana or insight practice can eliminate the wrong view. Truthful, uniting, gentle and polite, and mindful speech must replace false, slanderous, rough, harsh, and frivolous talks. Rude and offensive talks out of habit without ill intent do not amount to accumulating bad karma. Silly words give no good result in this life or in the following lives. Observing precepts can refrain from killing, cruelty, stealing, robbing, taking what is not willingly given, and sexual misconducts. Avoiding the wrong livelihood would not starve one to death. Treating employees rudely and meanly, even in a business of a balanced operation, it's still wrong livelihood. The business might not hurt or harm anybody, but if the employer treated the employees meanly, unfairly, then it falls into the pattern of wrong livelihood. So let's go a little farther to the modern day. head of states who use false speech and bad deeds to maintain their status is engaging in the wrong livelihood. Even though you are a ruler, you are engaging in the wrong livelihood. The right livelihood is a job without the 3 wrong deeds and 4 wrong speeches. That's it, definition of right livelihood. There is no 3 wrong deeds and no 4 wrong speeches. One can avoid these only if one is aware of their presence. If you're aware what you're doing right now, and if you are going to engage with ill intent, automatically you know. And you can turn it into the right one. But if you are not aware, you can't do anything. Good and disciplined parents and teachers brought up some people in this case. These people are conditioned not to engage in wrong speech and deed. So it's very important in what kind of environment a person grows up, a child grows up, whether disciplined, decent parents and teachers are the environment. They grow up to be the people who avoid wrong deed and wrong speeches. Also, listening to Dhamma talks will also streamline correct speech and actions. And also it will expel doubts that one may have, pave the way to the right view, and have a clear and wholesome mind. See, 2 things. You need a right condition to grow up, mostly parents and teachers, and the friends you hang out with, of course, and listening to Dhamma. The right effort and the right mindfulness give the best benefits among the 8 factors. There are 8, but everything is built upon the mindfulness and effort to be mindful. So those are critical. Without those 2, the other 6, you cannot go there. So we'll have a little review on what is right effort is. There are 4 kinds of right effort. To eliminate unwholesome suffering producing that has not arisen before. And to eliminate unwholesome actions or event that has already occurred. Don't do new bad things. Whatever you are doing bad things, stop And if you are doing anything bad right now, stop. So present and future related to unwholesome actions, akusala. And also develop kusala, wholesome thing that has never appeared before, and expand the existing kusala or wholesome actions to multiply, expand, multiply. Keep on doing what you are doing good, and also try and do good, something you have never done before. That's it. Those are the 4 kinds of effort. Akusala or unwholesome action manifest as deed, speech, thought, and latent tendency. 4 categories: deed, speech, thought, and latent tendency. The 5 precepts morality will contain the wrong deed and wrong speech. Vipassana yogi experience many thoughts with defilements which do not grow into verbal and physical actions, because Vipassana, mindfulness insight, is always observing. As soon as a thought arises, you are aware, so no verbal action and physical action will follow. Concentration will keep these at bay, but only Vipassana can eradicate latent tendency, mental defilements accumulated in countless past lives. These are the potential of unwholesome actions. But they are not in a deed form or a speech form or even in a thought form, but they lay dormant. That's why it's called latent tendency. But as soon as a condition arises, they pops up and they manifest it into those wrong actions. There are 2 types of latency. Object latency is one when one sees a pleasant or unpleasant objects and forgets to note it. Okay, that's called object latency. You see an unwholesome, unpleasant object, and you are not aware of it, you are not mindful of it, forget to note it. And if that's the case, later it comes back in thought form, and one experience is similar, grasping to the object or aversion to the object arise again. In other words, it repeats the same negative states in a thought form if one forgets to note when it was happening. Therefore, one notes as seeing, hearing, smelling, and so on. That's a reason we note it till these disappear. yogi reaching insight of the solution, Binganyana, has already eliminated object latency. That's one type. Second type, only path wisdom, Magga, can eliminate latent unwholesome tendency accumulated from the uncountable past lives. You have accumulated these bad habits for uncountable lives, so it is like a seed in you. You can't eradicate it. You practice Vipassana, and when you reach the path wisdom, Magga, only then you can eradicate or eliminate them. The first path wisdom eradicates the suffering of the four woeful state. Only the fourth and the final path wisdom uprooted the suffering produced in 31 planes or 31 realms. Only Satipatthana Vipassana gives the attainment of Nibbana or realization of Nibbana. So may all of you be able to practice Satipatthana Vipassana, which consists of Eightfold Noble Path, and may you be able to realize Nibbana in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.